This is my 3.5-year-old Red Sea Reefer G2 350 aquarium. And this is my brother's Generation 1 Red Sea Reefer that blew its seam in the middle of the night on March 10th of 2026. I had heard stories of these particular aquariums blowing their seams, but this close-to-home experience put me on heightened alert. On April 23rd, 2026, so about a month later, I noticed a bubble developing in the silicone of my Red Sea Reefer during my weekly routine maintenance. Fortunately, Red Sea quickly replaced the tank under warranty. However, I was not quite mentally able to move forward and set up the same tank again. Even though it was a G3 tank, so I was hoping that would be better, I just didn't have a lot of faith that this new tank would also last longer than 3 years. After a great deal of research, I ordered and took delivery of a new UNS reef system, the R150, which is roughly 150 gallons of total water volume, including the sump. Now, the overall design of the system, including the stand, is very well thought out, and the system comes with some premium features, such as the glass edges are mitered, the stand is already pre-assembled when it arrives with an aluminum frame. It's a very spacious sump with smoked glass, which is kind of nice, and the sump also comes with several different lids to reduce evaporation and salt creep. And there's also some very well thought out storage or organizational space within the stand. And to top it all off, all the doors on the front and sides are removable and attached to the stand magnetically. So UNS, or Ultum Nature Systems, also actually took note of my YouTube channel and offered me a discount on this system in exchange for documenting the tank's arrival, the build, and the overall progression of the tank, which really did help me out and ease that burden I was experiencing from having to shut down my Red Sea tank early due to the seam failing. Now, on May 20th, 2026, the tank arrived to my home and was quickly moved into the garage where it was inspected. I then had my local fish store company come out and safely move the tank into my basement, and I quickly began work on cleaning the tank, installing the bulkheads, installing the pre-cut plumbing, which was a breeze, by the way, only just took a few minutes. The tank actually comes with a main drain and a secondary backup drain, and plumbing for the return pump, including an additional section if you want to run a carbon reactor or your UV sterilizer off your return pump. So the plumbing is actually quite nice. After getting the plumbing in place, it was time to fill the system with tap water, which is just something I do to check for leaks and make sure everything's good to go. And while filling the system with tap water, I slowly make some adjustments to the level of the tank, which always takes a bit of time. And once I was happy with how level the tank was, I then drained the tap water back out and did a nice thorough wipe down of the tank, and then began filling the tank with RODI water, and I started adding salt. By this time, I had also started to install some minimum equipment, some flow in the display, a new return pump, a couple of heaters, and a bigger skimmer. I couldn't use my existing skimmer on my smaller system. And this equipment would just allow me to stabilize the system and prepare it for my livestock, my coral and fish, to be moved over from my Red Sea system. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the equipment just yet, as I will do an in-depth video of my gear and a sump tour very soon. And I'll also discuss my decision to put away the metal halides for a bit and give LEDs another go. Once the tank salinity was at 1.026 about, and temperature was stable, I ended up adding some live rock rubble from my Red Sea sump into the sump of the new UNS 150. And then I also did a few water changes every few days where I would take the old water from my established Red Sea tank and add it to the new UNS 150. And I let things kind of settle like this for a couple weeks just to kind of build a little bit of stability in that tank, hopefully before the big move day. Then finally I took a full day off work and I spent probably 12 hours transferring everything over from the Red Sea Reefer to the new UNS 150. So my fish, my coral, my rock, all my gear that I was going to use on the new system. And which honestly, that transfer day, it actually went pretty well. It was exhausting. And it's only been a few days since that transfer day. But so far, I haven't lost any coral or any fish. So my livestock is good. I will say, though, that I've lost a bit of color in the acropora. But I think that's to be expected. So we're going to let things stabilize for a few months and see how the corals react to the new lighting and the new system. So here is the system with everything moved over. Yes, it looks super clean. Will I be able to keep it this clean? That's another question. I love, this is a 5-foot tank now instead of a 4-foot tank, and I have a lot more space, so I can let some stuff grow out. I can let some stuff breathe. Probably can add some more fish in a little bit here, see how things go. And I'm just really excited for this new tank and how everything is running. My wife is very pleased with the setup because I've been able to hide a lot more stuff within the stand. So she says it's not as ugly or distracting in the room with all this stuff everywhere. And because of the integrated drawer in the tank and the way it's organized, the sump and the spacing for your gear, it's just been really fantastic, and it's made our space here in the basement much more appealing. So we're loving it. So folks, I just want to say thank you again for tuning in, coming along with me. I think some of you may have been here from the beginning, and now we're on to a new chapter. We've moved on from the Red Sea Reefer, and we're now on to the new UNS 150, which has just been a fantastic system. I'm going to do one last video update on the Red Sea Reefer, kind of close that out, close the books on that, and then I'm going to prepare a video on the gear I'm using on the UNS 150, including that sump tour. And I'll give an update also on how the livestock's doing and how they handled the move. Thanks again, folks, for tuning in. Happy reefing. We'll see y'all in the next one.